Well, my name is Amanda Orlando. I do a morning radio show with Jim Day on Warm 98.5. And we have this long held tradition of honoring our teachers in the tri-state area. We call it the Warm 98.5 Teacher of the Week.
Okay.
Where people write in and nominate outstanding teachers in their field. And one of your friends got nominated. No, I'm just kidding. You got nominated. Congratulations.
Okay. Thank you. I'm not fired. This was a fun week-long. Like, we have a meeting at 10:30. Can you join me at 10:30 on Thursday? And I'm like, yeah.
Amanda, I told you about that sense of humor of hers.
You did. So Principal Hayes wanted to make sure we kept it a surprise because sometimes it's hard. When
She did a great job.
But then it's always nerve-wracking. The first thing everyone always thinks is, do I still have a job after today?
Yeah, that is what I said.
Well, I hope that this is a much better experience.
Thank you. Yes.
Would you like to hear the nomination letter?
Sure.
All right, let me read this to you. Let me flip this over here. All right, this is from Erin Sanchez. She says, there's no way to describe Courtney Baker in 2,000 characters that gives her justice. She truly loves and cares for every student that enters her life. Even after my child was out of her class, she still makes an effort to check on him and me and my other children in the school. Had it not been for Mrs. Baker, this past year of pandemic would have been disastrous for my child academically. See, I'm going to cry just because I'm a kid too, and I understand where she's coming from. So he genuinely struggled for the first time in his life, and she was right there with him the whole time. I'm not going to be able to keep it together. Cheering him on, encouraging him, and ultimately getting him across that finish line of success. She takes so much extra time for her students. She's often still working into the wee hours of the night. A few years back, there was an active shooter threat at the school. She had been off campus when it happened, but immediately rushed back to the school because she knew her students would need her. See, I get very emotional myself. She is one of the most devoted educators I've ever met, and she deserves every ounce of recognition she receives. I cannot tell you the number of times she's gone out of her way for one of her students, not to mention those students' parents, her colleagues, and the community.
That's sweet.
We couldn't agree more.
Congratulations.
I love that. Thank you.
How does it feel to know that somebody recognizes all the effort and the extra effort that you put in?
Well, every teacher does those things. It's just so often not recognized. And sometimes you get used to it and it's like, this is just part of the job, but it's really nice to hear that someone noticed.
What has been extra difficult, I guess, teaching this year than in years past? I know there's probably a lot of things to choose from.
Yeah, so this is my 11th year. And so for 10 years, I taught in the classroom. And then this year I'm teaching from home. So I think not like I think I'm wonderful, but my best thing is building relationships with kids. And it's hard to do that on a computer screen. So I always felt like I was a good teacher because they knew I cared about them and that's why they wanted to learn. And so this year that's been, I felt like I was automatically at a disadvantage because I didn't get all that time to bond with them and get to know them the same way I would in person, but I still needed them to work just as hard.
Right.
So that's really been the hardest part. I mean, we'll see, I guess, if it paid off, but it's been definitely a learning curve trying to figure out how to build relationships without being physically near someone.
I hear you. Principal Hayes, I can tell you're a big fan of Courtney's. What do you have to say about her?
Well, not only as a principal, I'm personally invested. My daughter had Mrs. Baker. My daughter had Mrs. Baker, and they had a bond that was, they could not be separated. I mean, Mrs. Baker went above and beyond. My daughter has a very different personality, and I will say she's a tough little nut to crack. And Mrs. Baker and my daughter just fit together like two peas in a pod. And they would do things in the summer together, and she would give my daughter purpose and hope and helped her believe in herself. And my daughter still talks about her to this day. even though she's a middle school student. And it's not just for my daughter. I don't think because she was the principal's daughter, it's because that's who Mrs. Baker is. And just to let you know, Mrs. Baker, Mrs. Sanchez is not the only one who has noticed. Before we even knew about this honor, we have also selected you to be our Golden Apple winner this year.
Aw.
So we notice as well, this is your year, girl. So you didn't know that either.
I did not, no. And I'm not fired, and
Well, it sounds like all the students here at your school at Fairfield North Elementary have a lot of people to look up to and a lot of people who are nurturing them. It's really nice to see, especially in such circumstances that we have going on, that it sounds like you all go the extra mile for your students.
well, we're trying our best, aren't we?
Try every day. They're
Yeah.
worth it.
Well, you get some prizes too, not only the accolades and the renowned title of Warm 98.5 Teacher of the Week, but you also get just showered with gifts from our amazing sponsors. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers wants to give you $50 to spend on chicken fingers. Get some extra sauce because it's amazing. And also $50 to spend at Bank and Florist Home and Garden. So you spend it on whatever you like to beautify your at-home classroom or your yard, you know. And
Awesome, thank you.
you're welcome. Enjoy both of those and enjoy your reigning week as the Warm 98.5 Teacher of the Week.
Well, thank you so much.
Yay!